this is when television, black and white television first came out, and everybody was getting a television. Of course, there's little screens, and Miss Stewart was talking to Miss Minshew, and she said, "I'm sorry we ever got one of those TVs in our home." Said, "We have had nothing but chaos and problems and troubles ever since Isaac brought it home." She said, "Well, Miss Minshew, why is that?" She said, "Well, he got it because everybody's ripping and raving about Matt Dillon and Gunsmoke. And he went and visited somebody one Saturday night and they had it on, and he loved the show." You know, Matt Dillon run for 20 years and made thousands of, hundreds and thousands of movies and until he died. But she said, "How could that be a problem?" She said, "Well, one night, you know, Isaac was set in his ways, and Gunsmoke come on, had his TV all hooked up with his antenna outside so he could pick it up, and all of them gathered around in the front room, and Matt Dillon come on and went to going real good, and it got really good in the story, but it come Isaac's bedtime. And he wasn't going to put his bedtime off for this, so he said, "Okay, boys, it's time to go to bed now. Y'all just go to bed." And he reached over and turned the TV off right in the middle of Matt Dillon. So everybody went to bed, and next morning Isaac got up real early, fixed him a cup of coffee, and getting ready to go in and finish watching Matt Dillon. But what he didn't, he was really ignorant people back them days. This was years ago. And so he gets up and goes in with his cup of coffee and turned the TV on. And of course, all was on was that picture that comes on, the pattern, test pattern on the little screen would ending up in each corner with WKRG and a bunch of racket that was going on. So it made him mad and there wasn't nothing on, and he went in there and kicked the beds and got all four of his boys. One of them was named Early and Dan and Arlie and Dan, and I forget the other's name at the time, and got them all up and marched them in the living room and began to scold them and began to go whip them for getting up in the middle of the night, turning Matt Dillon on and watching the rest of his program. He said, "Dad, we have not been up." He said, "Well, somebody got up right in the middle of it and watched all of my Matt Dillon, and now I ain't got it to watch anymore." She said, "Well, that's the reason we have chaos." And she said, "Well, Miss Minshew," she said, "you know that program, it comes on for 30 minutes, an hour, and if you don't watch it all when it's going, you can't get up and watch it anytime you want to." She said, "Well, I don't know it, I'll just tell him, but it's been chaos ever since." So anyhow, to make a long story short, I'd put that in one of my books. One of the first books I ever wrote was short stories told by my granny.